All right, welcome back to a Dash Reading Creators Corner. This is where Chris and I like to talk about things in the creativity world. We talk about books, games, you name it. And today we got a very special guest, NeM. We're going to be
Oh,
discussing some of his stuff, some of his projects coming up. But welcome to the show, guys.
awesome. Love the intro.
Hmm.
That is right up my alley right there. Uh, I was about to go get my hat and a cigarette and grab my wife and call her Dame. So, you know,
Yeah, we need some dames. Yeah. Well, I figured I have a special intro for today because we're going to talk about, like all three of us are in one way or another are working on a mystery slash detective type story, if you will. So I thought, what better way to discuss mystery tropes and things that are in mystery movies, TV shows, books, you name it. And so I thought we discussed that a little bit. Then we'll jump into NEM's projects and go from there. But like Chris, you got one working, and what to you when you're whether it be a movie, book, or TV, what are you looking for in a detective story, if you will?
My main thing that I'm looking for is well, again, kind of depends on which type of detective story. Because if you're looking at the Batman, which I consider that kind of a detective story,
Yeah.
They made too many leaps and inferences. They didn't really do the detective work so much as, oh my god, it randomly happened to him. So that's my main thing. Make everything feel logical if you're going for that. Now, if you're going for pulp adventure, then I'm looking for, then it really doesn't have to make as much sense because you're just looking for action and punching people in the face.
Right. What about you, Dem? What is it, the one thing that you look for? Obviously, you've written in your novel that we're going to be talking about later, but what are you looking for, Nem, in a show or movie or whatnot?
well, what I'm looking for in a show or movie is I
Hey,
think
Kev.
going with Chris is that I need it to make logical sense, and follow along. Um, I don't always want to be able to jump to the end and know what the ending's going to be beforehand. But some of my favorite writers are Sir Arthur Conan Doyle with Sherlock Holmes, and then Agatha Christie.
Oh, yeah.
And I love those. And so I'm able to read those and awesome and follow along, and I enjoy it, and I can watch those over and over. Like there's a
Oh, yeah.
particular Sherlock Holmes TV show that I throw on. Honestly, whenever I'm feeling bad, I throw it on, and it makes me feel better. It's
Yeah.
Jeremy Brett
Oh,
plays
yeah.
Sherlock Holmes in the Granada. Yeah, I love those. I found it on eBay way back in the day. Got the entire collection plus all the movies in one DVD, and I hold on to those like it's gold. So
Listen,
one of my
yeah.
favorite things.
Listen, ain't nobody topping Perot. My boy Hercules, nobody's. Uh, you name it. The Orient Express, the Nile. I love. Yeah, Agatha Christie.
Do you, do you
Yeah.
like the new ones better or the old
No,
ones?
I like the old ones, and then the ones that were on PBS. Well, I
Okay.
only saw them on PBS.
Yeah.
The new ones are fine. Was his? I can't even think of the guy's name that plays
Kenneth
him.
Branagh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kenneth Branagh. They're fine. I don't have any problems with them, but it's something. There's something about sitting down with your pops and watching PBS and watching Perot
See,
and enjoying those.
I got to experience that with my daughter. So, unbeknownst to me, that somehow along the way, it rubbed off on my daughter. And when the new Murder on the Orient Express came out, she asked to go to the movie
Yeah.
with me. And so we've gone to those movies by ourselves, every single one that came out. And so it's
Yeah.
been so cool to be able to watch those. So.
Yeah, he's good. I have uh no problem with Kenneth Branagh. I just something about the old '90s and '80s and '90s Perot. The guy he played bad guys in all the movies, but he always played Perot on. I can't even think of his name, but I will in a second.
Yeah.
No, I think I'm right there with you guys. But I again growing up, I liked Murder She Wrote. I liked Philip Marlowe. And then Powers Booth as Philip Marlowe was fantastic on. It was, I think it was HBO. It came on, and then you had Stacy Keach as Mike Hammer. Those, I like the Sam Spades or the
Yeah.
said,
Yeah.
I want to go get my cigarette and narrate. She walked in, she had the biggest gams in the world, and they went up on for days. That's my detective, and so Chris, that's what leads me. That's what the vibe I get from your new one. Is that what you're looking at when you're creating your detective character? Is that where we're at, Sam Spades?
That was the part of it. But I also mixed it in with, of course, Indiana Jones, because it's a globe-trotting adventure kind of a story.
I do have to say that I don't know if you guys know this or not, but I'm kind of a smartass. So
what?
And I may take a break and write some either short stories or a novel that is a mystery adventure, but based on the mystery adventure, smartass kind of stuff that I like Murder by Death, that movie, or the Dirk Gently stuff by Douglas Adams. Love those. Absolutely love those. So it's absolute smartassery, but it's detective stuff.
So how are you on Dresden Files then? Where do you rate that?
I've never seen the Dresden Files.
Oh,
or you've never read? Oh, you gotta read.
No.
You need the Dresden Files.
You need the Dresden Files. In yours, NeM, the one we're going to talk about here in a little bit, I get you're definitely, you like the gritty.
Mm-hmm.
You like the gritty cop drama, you like the gritty cops. You like the. But I got a sense of little sense of CSI, a little sense of Law and Order. Like I picturing Elliot. Don't get mad if that's not how you pictured it. But I'm picturing, as I'm reading this, Elliot from Law and Order, from SVU, or his kind of gruffness is.
Do you know the character Murdoch in the book, the female detective who's the second in command to the lieutenant?
Yeah.
Do you remember? It's funny you said CSI. CSI Miami. There was a female character with blonde hair in that, or New York. Yeah.
Well, Callie Duquesne. I remember Callie being the blonde in Miami. Yeah.
Yeah, she's based on that character, but loosely. So yeah. So definitely.
I loved that. Well, we were talking a little bit. I as I said, one I've got coming up. I equate it to Jack Reacher with a little bit of Dog the Bounty Hunter. So
nice.
That's what my guy's going to be like. And I'm like, but he's got the GoPro. He's got the GoPro attached to. Mm-hmm. So when he's out on a mission, he's got the GoPro attached to his head, or he's always here. So I try to do something different. But what's one trope that you just despise, Chris? What's one trope that in a detective or mystery that you just cannot stand?
I don't want to say the CI, the confidential, but the one that, like, there's always one person they can go to who has every answer no matter what the case is.
Yeah. I do not want to Abby Shuto in my that's my wife. We watch NCIS and she's like, there's no way she's going to know that in 36 seconds. No way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. NeM.
I'm not going to say I can't stand it, but I think it's way overused, and they use this trope in a way that is so unrealistic. Is the good cop, bad cop routine, where literally the guy is sitting there pounding on him with the light in his face, and then he walks out, and 5 seconds later, a guy comes in with a cup of coffee, and the dude spills the beans. I'm like, really? So, it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Very nice.
Yeah, it always cracks me up And I get it that it's like, because another one of my favorite shows is Dragnet.
Oh yeah,
But,
yeah.
man, so,
I will. Good cop, bad cop works though, and because my job in the Air Force was criminal investigations. So that
okay.
was what I did, and it does work. Does it work all the time? Absolutely not. So I get the trope. I get that it's a bad trope, but it does work because you'll get we'll go in there and we'll get one of the guys to beat him up or talk to him. And I'm not, when I say beat him up, I'm verbally beat him up. And then one of us will go in there. Hey man, let's go out to the smoke pit, get a smoke, let's take a break. And I've had more confessions in a smoke pit than I've ever had inside of interrogation room. So at times it works, but yeah, I'm with you, Chris. Man, I hate you're not, and that trope ruined police work in a way because now people expect for you to have results in an hour. They want their fingerprints back in an hour. The only thing I'm going to get you in an hour is a tag, a license plate. That's it. That's about as good as I'm going to get you in an hour.
Once I started doing research and stuff, into actual criminal investigation, and then my uncle was a DA investigator and a murder investigator, I can't watch CSI anymore. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. So.
I can watch it for a little bit, but like I will still watch. I will still watch NCI or NCIS because I love Gibbs. I think Gibbs is probably one of the best characters out there because he's, I like the no bull crap that that he takes. But yeah, I see what you're saying on the CSI.
I will say my favorite crime show, like fictional crime show, my wife and I watch all the time, and probably would give a little insight into my book, is Criminal Minds. So I love Criminal Minds. So.
I felt that.
Yeah,
I felt that. Gibbs is the goat, Kev. He is the goat.
I feel a lot of the same way when I watch movies with
hello Woody
computer work because I'm an IT guy, and it's like this would never happen this way.
Mr. or Mrs. I can hack into anything within 30 seconds, and
the one that really gets me with that, Chris, because it's what I used to do as well, is Jurassic Park with the girl.
It's a Linux system. I know.
I'm like looking at this going, what?
That is CH mod anything. Shut up.
Oh, so yeah, don't. I get it. It's for movies and for TV shows and in books like James Patterson. I love a lot of his stuff, but sometimes he'll give it away too early. Does that bother you, or is that something that's okay with you, Chris? Like, is giving it away too early okay at times?
No. I prefer to. Seed the clues, of course, because that's what you have to do with a good, detective and mystery story. But if I can figure it out within the first half hour or 10 minutes or first couple of chapters, then you've given away too much. You've made it like you've almost done an info dump right away in the beginning. I like to be, I don't want to say strung along, but pretty much, stretch it out here. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, I want to be. I'm okay with.
I want to discover the mystery along with the person.
See, when I'm writing a mystery, I kind of like to follow the same road as that movie, The Prestige, with a magic trick, where it's like, I'm going to show you something you think is normal. I'm going to do something, and then I'm going to flip it on its head, and you're not going to, and everything you thought you knew is not what you thought, So,
well, if I had a tagline for the long game, if I had a tagline for it right now, is everything is and isn't as it seems.
Yeah.
So,
and believe it or not, there are 6 more books that I have outlined with that character in that series. So
well, that tells me a lot. Yeah, well, ladies and gentlemen, I promise we're gonna get to NeM stuff here in just a minute. We like to play these little games and
I
get
just like talking writing,
Yeah.
so I'm good.
I do. Yeah, it's Pat. I'm all right with it about like if you break it up into thirds. If I get it about the two third by the end of the second third, I'm okay with that. But there, man, sometimes you're just like, Patterson, come on, man. You're giving away too much. He did a really good one and I enjoy it. It's the Holmes, Marple, and Poe. He wrote that with somebody else. That's a decent one, but by mid of the book, I was like, all right, I already, but I still read them. I'll get through it. But that's why I like Agatha and Hercules. Hercules has got to take in Sherlock, as we talked about. Sherlock is going to be methodical all the way through till the end. We might know that Moriarty is there, but we don't know what Moriarty did, and we're going to have to build. And the same way with Perot and even Miss Marple from Agatha Christie, you're going to have to, because Hercules is going to work you backwards a little bit instead of going forwards. He's going to work you backwards and then take you forwards. And I like that in a book.
Although sometimes you can get too much. And I don't remember who wrote this book. I don't know if you've seen they made a movie. It's one of the few times I'll say the movie is better than the book. It's called The Name of the Rose. It was a movie starring Sean Connery. It's a murder mystery in a medieval convent. The book, I have read it twice and punished myself. Literally, the first 2 chapters. The second chapter is 20 pages describing a tapestry.
Yeah.
And so it's like, and if you don't read all that detail, he's giving you everything to solve the murder in these excruciatingly long things. And you just like, you want to claw your eyes out, so.
I might be in the minority I like that because that.
Okay.
You have to read the book to solve it. So I like that. Now, I'm not saying 20 pages long, but 5, 10, 5, maybe 6, 7 pages of weaving what the story is about. Because that's what one of my westerns is. You literally, because how we'll he says I love clawing my eyes out. Oh goodness. Like, would you read a book and we'll get like Lord of the Rings? J.R. Tolkien will have all the songs or the poems and things.
Sure.
And I know a lot of people that will skip the poems or the songs.
Yeah.
Well, one of my books, you're going to have to read the songs. You're going to have to read the ballads that the balladeer is playing throughout this book, or you're never going to get the answer. So I do that to ensure, because I believe it or not, some of those, I mean, you're going to learn a lot from the songs that Tolkien did in there.
One of the things that frustrated me, and this is not me trying to get to the book early, my other book, but one of the things that frustrated me with the person that published my novel is that I wrote a bunch of stuff that was supposed to be a supplemental at the end of the book about that serial killer case that you could refer to that would give you clues, and they didn't want to put it in the book. And so I was kind of upset by that. So
you gotta do that.
Yeah. So it's like I had police reports and police sketches and all of this stuff that you could have seen and like descriptions and even a little not a chapter, but like a description of how they found the different. So, because it was kind of instrumental of looking backwards to be able to look forwards, type thing. So it's like, it's kind of what you're talking about is like, if you read everything, and I think, as nerds, we kind of do that anyway. It's like, I'm one of those people that reads, the tech manual for Star Wars or something, so it's like,
how deep, Chris, how deep will you bury a clue to get the desired result that you want?
Again, like we were talking about Stephen King in that before, how he's overly descriptive.
Right.
I think if you're going to have something that's important to a mystery, it should be mentioned, even if it's mentioned casually, because sometimes that's all an investigator would get. They might only catch a glimpse of something, or they might only they might not spend a lot of time on a crime scene if they're not able to. But it shouldn't be like, okay, here's the room, and then there's a bright red book under the couch, because that's the only thing you're really pointing out.
Right.
It should be part of the overall descriptor or narrative instead of making it blatantly obvious.
You want them to search for that red book.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you think that's because most people that read mysteries, that's part of the fun for them when they're reading a mystery is unraveling the mystery? So,
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, yeah.
Like, was that bottle important, or was it, background window dressing? Was the glass broken? Like, if you describe a broken window, you would want to say where was the glass, or if the detective doesn't figure that out, then you can't tell the people, depending on the perspective you're writing from, of course.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's something you should always. I think for a mystery, you as the author should always have the complete mystery written out. These are the clues. This is what should lead to it, and then pepper that throughout as necessary.
Yeah. Leave the trail, the crumbs for them,
Yeah.
but not the pie.
Yeah, don't put big arrows pointing to it.
Right.
Right.
So I mean, what is, well, like you said, giving the red thing, but can you give too much, or can you can obviously give too much, but what would be too much giving? Like, so you're breaking it down the scene for me there, Chris. You're talking about the glass broke, the bottle. What would be giving too much away? Do you just
like if you went in there and you saw the body or whoever's laying there, blood all around, you knew exactly what killed, and that's okay. And then they can know this is the murder weapon, this is how somebody got in. But then if you also see a manifesto, that kind of thing is too much. It should have something in there that leads, even if it's a false lead, like have a matchbook for a nightclub in there. You know what I mean? They may have had nothing to do with it, but that might take you somewhere else.
The glass shards probably do have something to do with the difficulty in clawing. Yeah, I like that, because
I got 5.
I like, you don't want to, because let's talk. I'm not trying not to bring the real world in, but if somebody leaves a manifesto, they don't immediately find the manifesto.
Right.
It takes a lot of time and effort to get to that manifesto. Let's see what are you cracking me up today? These people need to watch the Maltese Falcon outside of their whimsical high school classroom.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say, if you're writing a manifesto, you've got issues. That's all I'm going to say. So,
yeah.
As a general rule, manifesto writers are probably up to, something. So,
what's the difference between a diary and a manifesto?
Yeah. Intent.
Ideology.
I actually studied the forensic psychology as well, so I mean that helps a bit. But like, let's say you find somebody in a park, okay, and they're dead, they're leaning against a car, right? Mm-hmm. And they've obviously been shot, okay, but they also have bruising around the face and everything. One, you have to wait for the coroner's report and everything else, but right. Was the cause of death the gunshot, or was it the
beating?
The beating, yeah. So that kind of thing can help with it. In fact, I wrote a board game called Scene of the Crime, where it's a noir detective story, but it's all branching paths, and that's one of the cases in there. Like, who killed this guy?
Right.
So I gave you just enough there that, and he had a tattoo that said Sharon on his arm. That's all they needed to get this going was to find this kind of information. And I mean, I don't want to tell you what
Yeah, you
happened.
don't want to give it out, right?
You play the game.
Well,
but
if you go in with blinders on, you're immediately going to think it was Sharon with a gun.
never
You
know.
can't. So I mean, it can't. I always liken it to go back to Clue. You have to work your way room through room,
Mhm.
weapon through weapon, suspect through suspect. It's not always just going to be as easy as Colonel Mustard in the library with a pipe. It's just not. You actually have to work for it.
It's always Tim Curry.
A short story I wrote for myself a long time ago, and I may revisit. It was called Billy the Finger, and it was about a guy, a janitor who was mentally challenged, and he ends up going crazy and committing a series of axe murders, and they kill him. And he's friends with. It was more like a novella, but he's friends with these people at a university. He was a janitor at a university, and they're trying to figure out what was going on. Meanwhile, one of the women, this guy's fiance, who's friends with this guy, this janitor that was very close, she starts getting some of the signs that he had, like twitching, and her finger would twitch and stuff like that. But there's clues all throughout the short story where you could see references to a mobster back in the 30s called Billy the Finger. And what it turned out being was there's a demon that inhabits a little finger and influences people all the time. And it's passed on through, violence through death.
Monkey
And at
shine.
the end, and at the end, the ending of the story is a shock ending where the female opens the door to her boyfriend and comes in with the knife and cut to black, fade to black. And that's it. So, but like all through the thing, there's different references to, these murders in Chicago and people with these fingers, a guy wearing a glove with the middle finger cut out, or, the little finger and stuff like that. So, it's kind of what Chris was talking about. Like you put it in there and then you can go back and look later and go like, oh, wow, it was there the whole time.
You can do the callbacks. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was one I always wondered, and it was a real simple mystery. I mean, I say simple, but Freddy Krueger didn't do it. I always wondered that one because they find pictures of the kids in his quote unquote, in the boiler room, and he gets off on a technicality, or he gets off on, they find him just not guilty. The parents get mad. Kids admit we lied. We made it up. But the evidence is there that it looks like he did it until you go back and then see it later. You're like, oh, we messed up. And then you get Freddy out for revenge.
Nice.
I want to see that. I want to see that played out.
All right, I'm putting the shades on because my eyes are hurting, not because I want to be cool.
Oh, you're cool. You are cool.
You are.
I mean, yeah.
Nice.
You look good.
Yes, I am a part-time taco. So
we are all taco. Chris, what is the one thing that, or the biggest problem you run into? Like, I know we map it out, right?
Yes.
Like you said, NeM maps it out, you map it out, I map it out. But what is the biggest problem that you seem to run into? I'll tell you mine right off the bat, and that way you guys can talk. I always feel like I'm giving it. I know where I am. I map it out. I know my clues. But even as I'm writing, I feel like I'm still giving it away too early. So, Chris, for you, what do you think is the hardest part? And that because I've had to rewrite a lot of times.
Yeah.
But for you, what do you think it is?
I was actually going to say the same thing. I'm always afraid I'm going to give it away a little bit too early, or that I'm going to handhold you through the whole thing, not unintentionally. Like, I don't mean to lead you through the steps. I wanted you to, as the character, to follow along and find it. That's my biggest worry. Is I don't want it to seem contrite or contrived or whatever the word I'm looking for here. That's my thing.
NeM?
I think I've got two big ones. One is that when I write myself into a corner or something, that is a big one where I've done something and then I realize it doesn't fit, and then I got to figure out, I got to go back and change all that. The other one for me, and I don't know if this is just me or if you guys feel this too, but when I write, I sometimes get very attached to characters, especially certain characters.
Kill your baby.
And then when it's time to do what I need to do, for the sake of the story, it really bothers me. And yeah, I'll just say, in the particular book that we're going to talk about, I had to put the book away for 2 weeks after I did one thing, so I did not enjoy it. So
if you read hybrid, I did in hybrids. There was one in hybrids that I didn't want to, but there was no other way that the story was going to move forward if I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
There was no way, and even in Hell Comes to Texas, when you read that one, I need it, because there, a lot of people were telling me, you shouldn't have done that because, but I had to. It's the only way sometimes that your characters can progress. It's called a hero's journey or whatever for a reason. The mentor at some point, or a special character them, has to meet an end, whether it's the first book, the second book, third, however far you go. At some point Han Solo has to die, or at some point, Han Solo didn't have to die in 7. I'm just going to say that right now. But some point the Han Solo has to die.
See, now we need Lori Calcaterra in here because she seems to enjoy the tears of her readers. So I need to know how she feels when she does some of the things she does. So.
She revels. I'm sure I'm sure she's not just drinking the tears. She probably pours it into a vat where she can take a shower in our tears. Because, so yeah.
If you read that first chapter of The Beast Within one,
yes,
she had to die at the end of that.
Yeah, I totally understand, though. It makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It made sense there, and
it's the reason why the one sister left. It's the reason why the other sister stayed.
Yeah,
and why there was a complete lack of trust in the town was because,
and that's I think a lot of, well, I won't say a lot of because I don't, but I see some writers do that. I see that they won't kill their baby, and and that doesn't just necessarily mean a character. That might just be a plot device. Where I see you, I know you love it, man. This is the greatest idea in the world, but it just doesn't fit. It was a book. It was a book I read just the other night. It felt like this author put 4 different books together, and it was just. I'm sure when she was writing it, just every idea she had was like, this is going to send it to the bestseller list. And you're just like, well, why did you even do that? Because it just distracted me from the main reason why I was reading this book. So, and I think some authors tend to not. You have to kill your babies. That was what my one of my instructors, drilled that into our head. By drill, I mean, I could have sworn she grabbed me by my throat, had the drill right here going, you got to kill. So I know, trust me, from experience about killing your baby. And it's hard.
It's one of the reasons why I have a hard time watching prequels.
Yeah.
Because, or the Star Wars, reading the Star Wars comic books. It's like, oh no, Luke's on a planet that's about to explode. I mean, he gets out. There's no, for me, that's hard for me to understand or care about the tension if there's things like that. Like, I liked Dexter Original Sin, but I know he was never getting caught.
Right.
There's never any danger there.
Yeah.
That sense of stakes is missing. So, yeah.
Again, I liked the show. I enjoyed it. It was just, I can't get invested.
That's why I liked when he did, you had Yellowstone, but when he did 1883, I'm going into 1883 like, well, we know the Duttons live, but I like the way that they did. There were certain characters that you got the narrator going the whole way through, and then at the end, spoiler alert, ladies and gentlemen, if you have not watched 1883, it's been way too many years for you not to know the spoilers on this one.
It's like going back to, dare I say, or dare I do this, but going back to comic books. It's why it's kind of gotten hard to read, like Batman as an example. It's like there's no stakes because even if there are stakes, he's going to get resurrected, or it was a mistake, or something. It's
Yeah.
like, so I enjoy the stories and stuff, but it's like, it's like Court of Owls by Scott Snyder. You read it, you're like, there's a lot of danger there, but do we ever really think that Bruce Wayne was actually going to die?
No.
Yeah. So, which is unfortunate, but
Well, let's talk about the long game. So
here's an actual
go ahead.
The book. So yeah. So
I whenever you want to put it on shelves, or you want to, I'm ready to read but I've got my copy, ladies and gentlemen. I got my copy. I loved it. I read it 3 times. 3 times now. I've read it 3 times.
Thank you.
Well, because I don't want you to. I don't know. I don't know how long it's been out, or if you have it out, or if you're what we can give away.
It's been out for a couple of years. It was out with another publisher. I just fairly recently got the rights back, so I'm looking for someone to publish it now.
Very nice.
So I want to re-release it. I'm thinking about adding a couple of the chapters and some of that supplemental material that was left out before I re-release it. So that's probably what I'm waiting for. And then when I do re-release it, I want to do some special hardcovers with Lori and do that kind of thing. But yeah, it's going to come back out. I am sending stuff out to people next week. So you may be getting an original copy of the book. Look for that. So we will see. So.
Color me surprised, because I didn't even know any of that until just this moment, ladies and gentlemen. So I feel silly. No, walk us. I mean, if you want to give away spoilers, go ahead. But I know a lot of my friends have not read this thing, and I want them to read it. So I don't know how much you want to give away.
Okay.
But walk us through the how you got to the theme of what you of the story. What brought us to that? What led us up to that?
Believe it or not, this idea for this book was sitting with me since 2002. And I wrote the book fairly quickly. So I guess it came out in, I don't know, 2021 or 2022. So once I actually sat down and wrote it, it was pretty fast. But what brought me to this was I was watching the news, which is dangerous in and of itself. And people were screaming. In fact, I think I was watching Hannity and Combs. Do you remember that show? Mm-hmm. Alan Combs and Sean Hannity, and they're yelling at each other. And it happened to be about abortion. And I was like, and I sat there and I was thinking to myself, if the devil was going to get us to wanted to destroy us, he'd get us to destroy ourselves without us ever knowing that he was doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And that was that was the thought that started this. And I was like, well, how would he do it? What issues could he use? And the one that I lit on. So this idea had been circulating, and the one I lit on after watching his news program was the abortion debate. And so I was like, how would he do that? And then it kind of was, I just kept going back to it. And, one of the things I love, I don't remember who said it, but it was that quote. It's like, the greatest trick the devil ever did was convincing people that he didn't exist. That was another thing that was kind of behind this. And so it's kind of a theme that's going to go through all of the books of this, is that, I like what you said. It's like, what is happening is exactly what you think is happening, and it isn't. And depending on your point of view and how religious you are, you kind of see that in the real world too. You're like, oh, well, on the surface, all this is happening, but maybe underneath the surface, this is what's happening too. So that's kind of what the book was about. So about the pervasiveness of evil. So
yeah. I mean, I didn't see that. Well, especially the first time, did not see that coming at the end. So I absolutely love that ending. I mean, you just said it, but was it going to come earlier? And you don't have to give too much away, but was that going to come earlier or later or
Which
did you
one?
always the ending
The
that
twist
that
at the end.
twist? Yeah.
All right, I'm going to be completely honest with you. It was supposed to come exactly where it was come, but I ran out of steam writing the book. I don't know if you've ever had that, where I was like,
Yes.
I just want this thing to end, and I want to be done with it. So I was writing this book, and it kept getting longer and longer, and I was like, I just want this thing to be done. And so it got to the point where I could reveal the reveal, and I did. And there was supposed to be more after that, and that's why I want to add some more chapters and the follow up to it. But this was supposed to be the intro, and it is the intro to 6 more books. So the reveal, the supernatural reveal, is also kind of like pulling the curtains for the viewer and saying, this whole time you thought you were reading a murder mystery, and you were, but now guess what?
Yeah.
These mysteries lead into something else, and it's going to be something that is unfolding. It's a supernatural mystery that's going to be unfolding for 6 more books. So
well,
that's the kind of thing I like, is you give the resolution to the one mystery or case, but then that one just leads into something broader.
Yeah.
Like this is just a tip of the quote unquote iceberg, as they say.
Yeah. And one of the things that I've really wanted to do, and I've held off doing, I haven't revealed it to anybody, but there is a theme to each of the books. And I'm hoping that once people start reading the books, they can figure out what the supernatural theme is and understand what the whole arc of the 7 books is about. And so it's been really hard not to give that away, because I think once people look back after they've read a couple of the books and figured it out, it'll be sort of obvious. But right now, I don't think it's obvious yet. So
it's not obvious to me, and I need you to get book 2 out because I'm tired of waiting on it. No, I kid. No, I don't know. No, that's good about the book, that first book. Then, if you've got a theme, you definitely didn't give it away in the first book.
I can reveal the second book is I give this away because I'm going to be giving away the couple chapters for this book anyway. Domenicali is going to end up getting fired from the NYPD, and he's going to end up opening his own detective business as a side hustle, and he's going to be approached by the Catholic Archdiocese of Orange County in New York to investigate a series of break-ins at the church at West Point. So I'm going to where I went to school, and we're going to go all through a lot of the weird stuff that I know is a fact is at West Point. Right. And what you're going to find out is that is going to be another mystery, but it's going to be a mystery about very much in vein like The Fallen, where of possession and oppression, except it's affecting the military and the Corps of Cadets there. So I've been doing a lot of research about possession and demonic oppression and things like that. So
is Fallen the one where they sing time?
Yep.
Oh, if you don't, bring that into a book. Bring somebody, one of you.
Well, that's what book 2 is. So, and the title of the second book is A Time for Wrath.
Nice.
So,
Elias Codas freaked me out in Fallen. I'm just going to say 100%.
Yeah.
So I obviously in the first book he's got sickness, cancer. I don't know that you said.
He's got lung cancer. So.
Okay, yeah, lung cancer. You left that ending for me a little vague for me.
Yeah.
You don't have to give that away. You can tell me later. I have my little own detective skill there.
Well, it's been out for a while. I'm not going to get completely spoiled for everybody, but how do I say this? The book is very Catholic. I'll say that first off. So if you're Catholic, you would see a lot of things in it, maybe that if you're not Catholic, you wouldn't see.
Yeah, I got it.
So what were you gonna say, Chris?
Two things. The wife has been over here going, yes, I want that book now. So I just sent you a message to remind you to tell me how much it is and how I get
Okay.
one.
Yeah, it's too good. It's too good. Too good.
She heard Catholic and she's like, yes.
So there are 3 instances in the book where people die and touch Dominicali with their blood after
Yes,
being
I know.
martyred.
Yeah.
And those 3 instances confer upon him a blessing.
Now, I didn't catch that in the 3 times I read it.
Yes.
No, I know where he's been, where the 3 times he's been bled on, but I guess, I mean, so he's kind of got a blocker.
Mm-hmm. Right.
He's got a blue blocker on himself.
Yeah. So it's not supposed to be. It's one of those things where it's going to become more apparent.
Okay.
At the end of the book, he is kind of like there's an intercession, from the Catholic standpoint. And one of the things I'm going to deal with in the second book is that's not permanent. It's not like he's suddenly going to be super holy warrior,
Right.
but it's there. You've experienced this. And now it's like, once again, you struggle with it because Dominicali is a flawed man.
Yeah.
He likes to smoke. He likes his vices. After being touched by that and now knowing that there is real evil out there, how do you go forward with your life when you're someone who doesn't really want to, this is not what you want. You don't want to be a priest like your brother, know? So
I just know if you kill Murdoch, I'm coming to see you and we riot. We riot if Murdoch dies.
Yeah. Well, she is dead.
No, she did. No, that was the other one. No, you're right.
Sanchez. Yes. Okay. Well, I am going to look out for you for my house. So.
No, I got Sanchez and Murdoch mixed up for this. No, but Murdoch needed to. I know that.
Yeah.
Murdoch needed to die. But
it killed me to do that too.
Yeah. Murdoch needed to die, but did you have to do it then? Couldn't you have waited a book, or did it make? I'm asking not as a dig at you, but
I wanted something that would reveal the level of treachery by the one person that killed her.
Yeah.
The thing that I regret about writing that character's death, and it was one of the things I was going to mention in the things that we regret when we write, was I actually held back on her death. So sometimes I worry about writing all of the stuff that's in my head because I'm afraid people are going to read it and be like, what the hell is wrong with this guy? And originally she was supposed to die a lot more violently and in a horrible way.
No, I liked it. And I don't mean that in a sadistic way. It was very poignant. It was very poignant for him. So I do like, but I was like, man, I would have liked for it to carry it a little. That's just me. It's a Dash thing. I love the book. It's a great book. But
I was going to say, when I started writing this, I knew that character was going to die.
Yeah.
Like you said, I had it all mapped out. As I wrote the book and wrote the scenes and wrote the dialogue with her and Murdoch and her, who she is in relation to Dominicali, I grew to really love that character. And I didn't want to do what I had to do. I was like, is there any way that I can keep her around? And I was like, and I kept going back and forth with my wife. I mean, that's how much I was like upset. I was like, and she's like, you got to do what you got to do. So you can blame my wife for killing her because she was like,
no, I don't blame Murdoch. I mean, I know, like when I talked about Booper, I know Booper had to die. I totally get it. I love Booper. Mm-hmm. Booper, if you're out there, I understand that, but it makes sense. But I was just like, I was. She's my favorite. If anybody can, well, Sanchez and Murdoch are both my favorite. I love the Macaulay, but I like the way you paired them. All of them complemented each other, and this is a testament to your writing. Is why I'm mad right now because if you understand where I'm coming. No, I'm kidding.
No, no.
No, it's a testament to your writing, and I just think that's so good because, and I understand why she died, but I was sitting there going, man, in the second book, if she was the first one, that would have really sent me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Right? Because who did somebody did it right? Like they were carried through. I want to. It might have been the Last Kingdom where I fell in love with the character, and like in the second book, they're immediately dead, and I'm just like, what the. But that kept me interested. But yeah, if Sanchez dies, I guess you've already handed to me. But I the reason I say that I felt they were so complimentary to each other.
She's not going to die in the second book. So
okay, well I'll live with that. But how did you get that? What inspired you to get them to that level of complimentary? You know where I'm going with like I sometimes I feel like I don't know about you, Chris, but I feel like sometimes in my books I'm like, I want that. I want people to go that you were wrong for killing them. Wrong. Mm-hmm. But how did you get their camaraderie and their connections so complementary to each other?
This is going to sound really silly probably to a lot of people, but I'm just going to lay it out there. It is 40 plus years of DMing and GMing.
Yeah.
40 plus years of role playing characters and being able to be in different characters and in their headspace. To the point where when I write my characters or your dialogue, I'm actually doing the voices out loud. My wife thinks I'm insane. I sit there and I have different voices for each person as I'm doing the dialogue and everything. And so I really enjoy it. It's the same way I DM stuff. I see it in my head. So it's like a movie. And I'm just writing down what I see. And then I'm actually doing the voices. And I try and do dialogue. I want it to feel real, authentic. And I think that goes a long way towards bringing the characters together. And I really enjoy that. One of the things I really want to work on is I read a book by Ari Salvatore about writing action, but I also read a book from Orson Scott Card about character dialogue and stuff like that, and that helped a lot as well. So, but
I mean, it's like I told Chris with boopers on 2.5 pages, I think. Literally, he made me care about it in 2.5 pages. He made me care about a character that I was, literally. And so that's what I love about both of your guys' writing, is you bring the characters to life. Just the slasher, like I told Chris about the slasher. I could feel I was I'm reading the diary that he's writing about this slasher, and I feel like I'm back there in the 1800s or in the time frame, or I feel like I'm there on the farm with the cannibals because you bring that out, and I thought you did so well with the church and the areas that they went to. So that's my praise for both of you guys, that you do so well. And so let me get Chris, is that something that helps you too, being the DM, being a GM, when maybe that's something I need to learn how to do. I need to go DM and GM some games. Is that something that helps you as well? Is that why I love even though they're the bad guys, I want the cannibals to live?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, improvisational skills do definitely help with this kind of, because you got to change sometimes on the fly. Like when you guys went to the campground and did things that I had no idea you were going to do. Again, you have to make that the rest of it up on the fly, and that does help because you're looking at multiple characters at once. How are they going to interact? What's the result going to be? If, like I said, if you guys killed a bunch of people in the past story, it's going to have a different impact than it is if you kill a bunch of people here in the other one. And you have to understand, my thing with these characters is they're real people. I mean, yes, I understand they're not real.
Yeah, I know where you're going.
Yeah, and it's storytelling. I mean, it's that's all DMing is that it's interactive storytelling, but you're the one taking the input from everybody else and weaving that into a story for the people who are playing. And and the other thing I think, DMing helps, but the other part, the opposite side, really helps a lot too, which is role playing.
Yeah.
One of the things that doesn't drive me crazy, but that makes me sad, is that I have played with a lot of people in D&D and other games over the years, and they always play the same character, and it's themselves in the game. And it's like the whole point of role playing is to role play, to get into it. Like I remember one particular character I have, and a lot of my characters end up dead, and for good reason. They should be dead. But one time I had a DM who did this incredibly cool thing, which is when you created your character, you could pick a card and it would give you a bonus, but it had a role playing like hint to it. Yeah. So I had created a cleric who was supposed to be a lawful goody cleric, and I pulled the card, and secretly it said, I'm secretly a cleric for an evil god of murder. And so the whole game, I mean, for 2 years, I played this cleric, and we would go places, and none of the characters could figure out why. We would go to a village, and then as we would leave a couple months later, the whole village was poisoned and they'd all die, and it was, the whole time I was playing this character, and the clues were always there. It was like a murder mystery, but they couldn't figure it out. And there were these horrible murders going on all over the place. They're like, who is doing these murders? And then one time we were traveling and we were fighting some monster, and my whole party got paralyzed. And
you left them like that?
No, I killed the monster by myself. And then I tortured, mutilated, and murdered the entire party before disappearing and becoming an NPC that lived on in infamy in this game world forever. I mean, it was, and it was one of those things where people were like mad at me and were like happy at the same time. They're like, you bastard, but it's like, I didn't want to play that character. I hated that character, but it was fun to play too. So,
Chris, I want a rematch with Slasher though. Just for anybody out there paying attention. I just want to smidgen. I have a reputation to protect. I mean, I took on Big James. I gotta have a rematch with the Slasher. So I gotta pay more attention to you guys. No, I do pay attention to.
All I'm gonna say is Lambada, folks. Lambada. So.
Yeah. I don't even have words for what.
I sit there when we get done, like when we play Slaughter or we play D&D. I get back and I'm just like, man, it amazes me, how both of you are so quick. Because like Chris, like we talked about a couple weeks ago, with 45 minutes inside a B&B, like how. I love that you guys can do that, but I'll get back to the book for a second because
no, it's fine. This is what I love. It's like
that's why I love Chris and this show with Chris. He has inspired me to 100th degree of inspiration. So you guys both have, but.
Mr. NeM, if you want to see something that's probably going to get me on a few FBI watch lists, check out the barbecue hamburger scene in the Cannibal Rednecks.
All right.
Yeah.
Researching that one, I'm sure I'm on a few lists.
Yeah,
so.
they probably flagged him.
here's a NeM mess up for real that I'm gonna share with all of you. I gave Chris the wrong address, and so I bought a bunch of stuff for Chris, and I went to the wrong address. So I have not read all your stuff yet, but I plan on reordering it. So
no, you don't reorder
no.
it. Just send me your address. I gotta send it out to you. Just send me your address.
You are right, Pops. That is good writing, and it's sometimes it's hard to stay in character with you guys because you guys wild me out. Like I fall on the floor.
Nice.
That's why I'm glad That's why I'm glad we have this when we're playing. This is up because I am rolling on the floor or something like that.
Well, it's like Taco. Taco is a character I played Slaughterville for everybody who doesn't know, and that character is just me going, "F it, I'm just gonna be crazy," and here, let's see what happens, And now I want to write that character in some ways.
Oh, absolutely.
But he works out so often. It's like,
yeah,
I'm gonna double backdrop kick this guy to the earlobe.
The amount of roles that you guys had the other day that were successful had me in tears, not only of joy but of anger, because the one time I wanted to do something wild, I do a spinning bird kick and kick the door off the hinges and get a slasher axe in the chest for my results.
Yeah.
So
it was her favorite cabin.
Yeah, it is her. What is I don't want to say the what, for lack of a better term, what is the long game for you in this series though? What you said to pick up on the clues and the supernatural clues, which is awesome. I love that. But what is the long game that you're hoping to achieve
with the whole series?
With the whole series.
I'm trying to figure out. The book is really all about. Yes, I like procedurals, crime procedurals, and murder mysteries, but I really love like the X-Files and the Exorcist and my horror stuff.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna give a clue. I love The Seventh Seal. That movie.
It's a good movie though.
So if you could put all of that together, you may figure out what the long game series is going to be like. So
yeah, the Seventh Seal will not end up on Dash and Lorena's horrible movie theater. I just want everybody to know that.
Yes.
Is that the Demi Moore one?
What's that?
The Seventh Seal? Yes. Yeah. The Seventh Seal, or another one that you might, if you want to get an idea, another movie you might watch is Seven.
Yeah, so yeah.
Inspiration for this book. So,
I saw Seven in there. I didn't want to. Yeah, you can feel Seven. I felt some Angels and is it Angels and Demons?
I think so.
The Dan Brown. I felt the little Angels and Demons in there. Which that's Dan Brown is fantastic. That's cool though. I read it 3 times because I wanted to make sure that I didn't miss anything because we're talking about it. You've already had this book out. No, I will read it 1,000 times because I just love. I love the way that you had it, the way your mystery went. At no point was I ever, in the first read, obviously, at no point was I ever onto the trail. If that makes any, you never gave me anything to go, oh, I knew it was that guy, or, oh, I didn't, I knew that was coming. Every twist and turn that you had in there was like, son of a bee.
I guess the question I would ask, and for both of you, is that looking back, were there signs, at least subtle or beneath the surface, of that was going on? It was just subtle and beneath the surface. So because I tried to do that, like a lot of it. One of the things I did, and I'm going to plan on doing this a whole series, is try and set the tone for the story and the chapters with the quotes at the beginning of each one.
No, that's the best. That's one of the favorite parts that I love, that how it kind of fit to each chapter. Yeah. You set one in there that it took, like I said, it was on my second read that I was like, duh, but you had the dream the dream where was it Murdoch or was it It was, I know it was Macaulay, but I think it was Murdoch where they both had the dream,
Hmm.
and I was like, it didn't even dawn on me the first read. I was like, oh, it just happened to be a coincidental. I thought that was good because it was a good clue, but you know, it wasn't enough for me to still go, oh, I see where it's going type thing.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool.
That
But
kind of makes me happy though,
yeah,
because that was kind of the whole thing, is that
Mhm.
you're questioning yourself. It's like, this couldn't really be what's going on,
right.
is it? And it turns out it is. And it's kind of that way. And I base that doing the research for this book and for the next couple books. I have a friend who is an actual priest who's an exorcist.
Mhm.
And I talked to him a lot about this kind of stuff and
Right.
about those different kinds of things. And um, I wish that he would agree to be interviewed, but he won't. But it was just, it's that kind of thing where it's like, there's lots of things that happen in your life, in real life, where you're like, is it just this or is it something else? So it's like, and sometimes it is just the lights flickering in your house,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
sometimes it's not,
Yeah.
so
That's why I like, when Chris is running me through werewolves and slashers and that's what I did not. Again, I didn't see Papa coming back in one of them. I thought that was a great so I like the nuances and the subtleties that both of you do. But yeah, so to get back, but there was some surface stuff that you know it, I had to read it a second time to
Mhm.
double check my.
and
But again, that's what I want in a mystery and in a supernatural. I don't want to be able to say, all right, you gave, because we've all read books probably, or it's like it would be like a TV show where the guest star is a big star. They're either going to be the murderee or the murderer, and so I like that about both your books because every time I was reading something, I was like, I didn't see that coming. Thank you. So that's
one of the
good. That's what I want.
one of the things my friends told me, and this was kind of, I always kept this in the back of my head when I was writing this book, and it's going to be when I'm writing the whole series,
Right.
is that a lot of people think, if you believe in demonic possession, I'm going to preface it that way.
Hmm.
A lot of people think that the devil or demons can read your mind, that they know the
Hmm.
future and stuff like that. And he said that's not true. The only thing that they have is that they are incredibly intelligent. And so they can infer what is going to happen 12, 15 steps ahead, or what you're going to do and things like that. And then they have the ability to wait a long time.
Mhm.
If
You
you
know,
read Hell, let me know what you think about my possession,
okay.
because I went that route. I'm right there with you on. I feel like I hope I conveyed that, but I'm right there with you on what you're saying on
Mm,
how they're a step ahead. They can, they're going to know. Yeah, look at
yes.
that.
I've got where's mine? Mine is
Okay.
up on my bookshelf of things that I am reading. So
And I got all your all's books now, and
yeah.
so, um, but yeah, so let me you talked to what other research went into, and how deep of research did you go to give us that?
Um well, I talked to the exorcist. I've got 4 books on demonic exorcism from the Vatican
Hmm.
over here in my I'm looking at my bookshelf of things
I
I'm
got you.
currently reading. My uncle was a homicide investigator and then a DA investigator. So I talked to him a lot about this stuff. And actually, Michael Domenicali, my uncle's name is Mike, and it's based on him. His personality is very similar to Domenicali's. Uh, yeah. And then all of the interactions with the priest and Gabriel. I have a friend who's a priest, several friends who are priests. I've been around priests a
Yeah,
long time in
yeah.
different aspects. Uh, like the conversations between Michael and his brother are pretty much um, based on conversations that I've had with my friend, where he'll be borderline sacrilegious in a sarcastic way, and we'll be going back and forth like that, talking because we both know each other, those types of things. And so I hope that the reason it feels authentic is it's kind of is that way, it's like, and I have had some of those things. Some of this book is me. Some of Domenicali is me saying, can you leave me alone? I don't need any more of your involvement in life. Can I just live my life, type thing. So, and I've had those conversations as well. So like I said, in a lot of ways, as far as this being a Catholic book, it's kind of, this series is kind of my Catholicism on my sleeve, so because being Catholic, for all of you who don't know, it's a whole other thing. So yeah, so I enjoyed it. And the best thing is, my parents are both really devoutly Catholic, and I gave it to my parents. My dad has never read anything I've written, none of my comic books. He never read anything. He read this book, and he was like, I can't believe that my kid wrote something like this. And like, that's, so I could die happy, because literally when I graduated from West Point, my dad said, I guess that's a pretty good thing you did. So that was that was the extent of his praise. So yeah, so I was happy with that. So.
Chris, I feel like I took up any of your questions. I was just so enthralled in this book. So I hope I didn't step on you too much. You got it? I mean,
no, I just want to ask, for, how do I say, for reveals, do you prefer the slow burn reveal, or do you prefer a sudden shock value reveal?
Honestly, I prefer the slow burn. I think shock reveals can happen, but the problem I have when I write shock reveals is that I feel in order for it to be shocking, it needs to be all of a sudden just thrust upon you, like you never saw it coming, and I prefer, this kind of goes back to where we were talking about mysteries and stuff, that there's stuff that you can look back and go, oh, the clues were there, and so I just didn't catch on it, versus, a lot of times the shocking stuff I would save for, well, I think there are a couple shock moments. Like there's a moment in there, warning to everybody of a sexual assault, and they find a girl who was sexually assaulted, and Murdoch comes to the rescue. I love that scene with Murdoch. I think that's kind of shocking, and it comes out, and it's like, and it kind of, I put it in there to underline just how depraved these people that we're dealing with are. And then there's a twist with that later on, and that you find out that the guy who's doing this stuff has got other issues, but I'll save that for letting people read the book. But so I think at that point it was kind of like, I wanted it to be shocking, not only for the characters, because they're like, oh my God, what has happened to this young girl, but also for the reader, is like, what the hell is going on here? And what am I reading? So but yeah, that was hard to write.
That was shocking. I mean, yeah, that was the one that I didn't see. Well, I guess it was a slow burn. The FBI agent, I did, but it was shocking that he did what he did.
Right.
To me, but I know it was kind of a slow burn in a way as well.
Another one is when you find out. So for everybody, the book, I've been kind of open about this. The book opens with the double murder, and one of the girls was going to get an abortion. When you eventually find out how she become impregnated, in the book, that was shocking and a slow burn at the same time. It was like you knew something happened, but when you find out what actually happened, it was kind of like,
what
in the world, So yeah, so
I didn't want to give too much of that away. Yeah, it was, shocking to say the. Yeah. But you built it up nicely. You did build up. It was a slow burn to a shocking ending, if that makes sense.
I think the real slow burn in the book is the slow burn behind why the girl from Indiana did what she did.
Right. That was good. That was good.
Yeah. And it's interesting because this goes back to editing, when I originally wrote that story, I thought that I had it all figured out and that it worked real well. And then my editor was female, and she wrote it, and she's like, "This doesn't make any sense from a woman's point of view," you know. And my wife read it, and she said the same thing. She's like, "If this happened to me, you know, a couple of times, one with the Catholic girl and the one with the girl, it's like I would probably think about killing myself." So it's like I had to revisit what that was, because writing from, you know, not that male writers can't understand female writers, but it's like to get that perspective made that much better. Yeah. So
you need a woman. Yeah. I mean, I try to, I very much, I don't know about you guys. I lean away from, I mean, I'll write female characters. Obviously they're in both books, but I, unless I have somebody that could really get me in touch with that side, I will stay away from. So I applaud both of those for both of you guys.
So we can't do the Jack Nicholson thing.
I'm lucky in that my wife and I have a relationship where first she's got an English degree and she's a teacher, so she'll tear apart my grammar and everything, but she'll read stuff and look at me and go, "This sucks." Yeah. I'm like, "Oh, all right."
I do. Yeah, I appreciate mine. Yeah. Like, because I was working on book 2, and she's like, "This, you know, I did something with Colt," and she's like, "That doesn't sound like him at all. What are you doing here?" So yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, she will tell me if something's like, yeah, that doesn't make any sense, or you suck. Yeah. You suck.
That's invaluable. I mean,
oh, it is, absolutely.
You know, because I don't know about you guys, but I'm convinced everything I write most of the time is the greatest stuff ever written in the world. So
well, you have to. Yeah, well, that's what we were talking. Yeah, that's what we were talking about yesterday. I was like, I'm going to sell myself, and I know you know, Chris does, and I know you do. You're going to. It is the greatest thing that you've ever written, and that's why I say about hybrids. I mean, like that's. I love that book, and if anybody ever, yes, I love that book that much. And
that's awesome.
But you know, I hear it when you know Chris is talking, and you can hear Chris's love for Slaughterville when we're just doing the role playing. So yeah, it is invaluable to have somebody there to say.
My thing, if you don't love it, nobody else will.
Yeah, right.
But at the same time, when you love it so much, it's easy for you to overlook the flaws, you know, or the things that don't make sense, you know, and that is the biggest one for me, especially with the murder mystery, going back to writing murder mysteries and stuff, is that you'll think that you made things perfectly clear for the reader, and you didn't. And so if someone else reads it and goes, "I don't understand where this came from."
Yeah,
Sorry.
Go ahead, Chris. I'm sorry. I was just yelling on that one.
How many times have you guys heard, "Listen, I don't know what's in your head. I can't. You know what you meant when you wrote this. We don't know." Yeah, that's what.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, that's why I'm glad I had the girls I do the reading show with. They're very good sounding boards when it comes to that. And yeah, Chris, how do you I mean, is it her that helps you or
a lot? Yeah. And we've done it, you know, obviously over the 3 books here, almost 4 now, and 5 if you want to count Jake Bishop. And it does get to the point where you can. I'm getting there where it's fewer and fewer of those sessions, as we call them, because we sit here and we go over her notes and all. But yeah, there's a time where I just have to say, I gotta let this thing go, give it to her. She'll give me the feedback, and then I can see where I was going with it.
Yeah.
And yeah. No, we argue about it all. I'm not saying we're sitting here lovey joy. No, we are like,
you are wrong. You are wrong, Chris. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
How do you overcome? I mean, you guys, but it's so hard to overcome sometimes. Like, if I can, I'm of the mindset, because I come from the child of the '70s. You better know what I'm talking. I'm not. I don't mean that in a bad way, but
no, I know what you mean.
I'm just saying, if I know it, wouldn't they know it? But I totally see where you're both coming from. It's like, no, and it took me even in school. I was like, the teacher's like, I get you, I totally understand you, but we've got 20 other students that may not get you. It took me, I mean, because I was in school for a long time, and it took me a long, and I hate to admit that it's, I should be able to hear it once and be like, I get it. But I think, I don't know about you guys, but I get so wrapped up in writing that I'm like, yes, I know everybody's going to understand this.
Yeah, well, I've had a book where I'm like, all right, it's about 200 and something pages. I think I'm done.
Yeah.
And it's like, I have no idea where you got to this point or how you got. I know where it's supposed to be. I know those hidden parts. But she's like, but you got to tell us.
Yeah.
If we don't know, we can't go along that journey with you. And I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's how I got the 500 pages in the Cannibal Redneck.
And I'm not upset with that, by the way.
Booper.
Booper. No, I love Booper. I will always love Booper. And a Booper, you're a real person out there. I know.
Yes.
Yeah, I love you too, Booper. I love you, Sanchez. I love you, Sanchez. Yeah, I love Sanchez, and man, I don't know. So I think that's why that's what I've appreciated about being with you guys in the madness. And we do these shows, even, whether it's just sitting around role playing, or we're sitting here doing this show, or or even when Ed and I are just talking music, I get an appreciation. And so that is the one thing that's helped me this 2025 especially get into a groove where I don't feel like I only have to show it to one person, or talk to it about or talk to it about with one person. So I appreciate you guys from that aspect, and the whole madness that when we do that. So
yeah, it's a ton of fun, and it's like, especially when you realize that your fellow people who are creating, your fellow creators, are thinking and doing a lot of the same things you're doing, but in their own flavor, and it like gives you other people to lean on, and you understand, and you talk about the process, and it's really cool, and it's a lot of fun, and to go through all of that stuff. And like, I never really thought about it until you had mentioned it, but it's like you were talking about the DMing and the role playing. It's like this new, look at this segue I'm about to do. This new comic I'm about to come out with is literally me role playing weirdness in my head. It's the science fiction version of Taco. With all of that entails. And that's and it's completely different. I would venture to say, I'm going out on a limb here. Space Monkeys is nothing like the long game. So which is
Why is that not showing for me? I can't pull up some of the pictures. Well,
hold on. Let me get that one. Hit the share.
Yeah, you got it. Good. I don't know why it's not working for me. All right, let's add this one to the stage. Blow it up for us. I can't.
Okay. I can't blow it up on here, unfortunately. I would have to I'll download them, and then I'll blow them up.
I can share it directly from my PC if you guys want.
Oh yeah, that'd be easy.
Yeah. So
we're gone.
Hold on.
We're gone. There we are.
Let me see.
I'm new to this, folks.
There you go.
There we go. Yeah.
So that's a different image, but that was one of the images from Space Monkeys. I will say Space Monkeys is it's a parody. I think I gave you guys the script. I don't know if you got a chance to look at it, but it's a parody. It's my love letter to Kevin Smith and Mel Brooks, and two of my favorites, especially Mel Brooks is all through this. But I do have plans for this whole thing too. So it's parodying science fiction and everything. And yeah, I'm really enjoying doing this. It's kind of why I haven't gotten back to writing the books, because I've been doing all this. So, and but I think the funny thing is this whole series. I can show you another piece of art real quick.
I'll remove that one.
Let's see. Oh, hold on. The funny thing about this whole thing is I never intended to write this at all. I did a serious sci-fi book called Phoenix Throne. And yeah, this is the first page of the book right here, if it comes up. There you go. So that's the very first page of the comic. Yeah, so, but I did a serious science fiction book called Phoenix Throne, which I eventually going to go back to. And I wanted a ad on the back, a fake ad. And I remembered sea monkeys from the old comic books. So I decided, I'm going to make an ad called Space Monkeys and put it on there. And I did a whole ad campaign and everything. And believe it or not, people liked the ad more than they liked the comic. You know, and they're like, everyone was telling me, we need space monkeys. We need space monkeys. My wife is telling me, we need space monkeys. I want space monkeys. And I was like, I am not writing a comic book about an ad I did as a throwaway. But people kept doing it. I was like, what in the world kind of story can I do with space monkeys? And then it came to me, and I started writing it. Then I started loving space monkeys. But yeah, at first I was like, there's no way in the world that I am writing a Space Monkeys comic. That is ridiculous. And but it turned out that it wasn't ridiculous, and I really, and enjoying it. And the people knew better than I did. My wife knew better than I did, which is not surprising. She told me, she's like, you need to do Space Monkeys as a comic. You need to do this. You need to do that. And I was like, no one's going to want to read Space Monkeys. So, but I was wrong. So I'm really looking forward to it. It's finally coming to life. We're even doing these are going to be part
the figurine. Yeah, I saw the figurine.
The Silver Surfer version and the painted version. We got big ones. We're going to be doing some other stuff. So yeah, we're looking forward to that, but that's coming next month. So
you're dropping. Yeah, you said February. So we'll have you back on.
Yeah,
probably around February, so you can run the Kickstarter and things like that. If we didn't bore you too much, I didn't bore you too much.
Do you have a sign up yet?
Huh?
Do you have the sign up yet?
For the Kickstarter? Yeah. The pre-launch is up right now, so it is up there. If you just search Space Monkeys, you can find it. I don't have the link right here, but yeah, the sign.
I'm just gonna post it for you.
I'll post it, or somebody can post a link in the Chris, you got something coming up that I'm very excited for.
Yes. The new mystery.
Yeah. I can throw that up quickly.
Yeah, throw that up there, please, sir.
Share screen. Edit your project. That's that. There you go.
There it is.
Yeah, we got to get together on the picture thing if you want. Because I need to talk to you about the one you sent me anyway.
Okay.
But yeah, it starts off as like you were saying, a simple mystery. He's trying to figure out what happened at a warehouse on the docks. Something was supposed to have, been stolen, and it all spirals into the famous fiasco stuff that noir is known for, and it leads into a global, world-spanning Indiana Jones style noir adventure. And that's my kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got Jake. He's the main private investigator, the wizard. You got Mona. She was Clive's wife. Clive is Jake's long-lost friend who came to him for help in the beginning with that case. The collector. He's somebody they visit who mysterious objects and artifacts.
Nice.
He might be my right now. He might be my favorite, just from the from what I've read through the beginning of it. Yeah, the collector is somebody I am.
He's
It's
got
hard.
something to him.
It's hard to say that. It's hard to say.
This
that,
has,
that
you know what this feels like? This feels like a board game, though. I mean, I want to play a board game of this, looking at these cards and stuff. So
I can make anything happen.
but I am a board game fanatic, so that's a whole other thing.
there
Yeah,
is the
yeah.
link for Space Monkeys.
Yes. Please give me your send me your address, the new one.
All right.
And I'll throw a box together tonight, or not, maybe not tonight, but tomorrow definitely, and I'll get it out to you.
Yeah. Chris, I'm and when is this one? You've got the backer up now. When does it go live?
I was going to launch by mid or end of February.
Very nice.
Yeah.
We got plenty of time to talk about this one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's the I brought up the one of the alternate covers and also the Kickstarter itself. So this is just the pre-launch page. So some other artwork from it. It's pretty simple, but
Go to Kickstarter, find Space Monkeys, back it.
this is
now.
them approaching Planet Galaga. Yes.
Nice.
So
I understood that reference.
yes.
Nice.
So
I understood that reference.
yeah.
Get the Captain America
So-
in.
Mhm.
Nothing super super fancy, but that is the pre-launch page. And then yeah, we got some other artwork. Like I threw up that other this is artwork from the Mateo that we're gonna offer for people to buy. So these are the bad guys.
Mhm.
So with the Imperador back there. So
Does that mean? Hold on. You need a forklift to deal with Chris's boxes. Does that mean? Does that mean we get to play in both Space Monkey World and Jake Bishop's World soon?
possibly.
Here's hoping.
Yeah.
Because
Actually, I want to talk to Chris about doing a game with Space Monkeys. So I don't know. I want to do something. There's a couple ideas I have, but I want to leverage Chris's experience doing board games or things like that. It's one of the things I would like to do. So
because I think Chad would fit perfect in both. Literally, Chad would fit perfect in both worlds.
can you imagine? You guys get shrunk down and put in the world of Space Monkeys because
Taco definitely fits in Space Monkeys.
Here's the big secret behind Space Monkeys, and the whole Space Monkeys is in an interverse. So the whole comic book and the whole series is taking place inside someone's body. So yeah,
inner. What was it? Inner space.
Yeah.
Is that the what? Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. There's the Kickstarter information for Jake Bishop, the Fountain of Shadow.
So can you imagine, like, all of Slaughterville, they all get shrunk down and like injected into the Slasher or into Taco or
These things can happen.
oh my God, here we go. They get injected into Dante. There you go.
Yeah.
That would be a very high time getting injected into Dante.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've already had plans for the next stuff for you guys. It's just,
that's
oh my God.
That is it's just so fun. I it's so hard to even explain it to my wife because she's like, I don't understand, but it's so fun.
One of the things I would love to work with Chris on, and this is just me throwing an idea out there. I don't even know if it could happen, but it'd be so fun. We've all got our different universes and our characters. I don't know if you guys know this game, but I would love to do a Madness smash up game.
Oh yeah.
Where it's all of the characters, are different card sets for the different people who are creators. So, and they're different stuff. So,
so two things with that.
Oh.
Have Smash Up right up here on the shelf there. That's what I was looking up.
Yeah.
And two, I created a game it was a couple of years back called Indie Comics Battleground. Now, I don't know if you heard of it, and I don't blame you if you don't, because I didn't publish it. But it was exactly what you're talking about. Indie Comics, I bring you in, we make a deck for you, and you can either, I had it where it's either one-on-one, right, like Magic style, or Battle Royal, where you're fighting each other, but to see which character is best. Or I even did a cooperative version where there's an enemy, and then you take the characters from the different comics and go against that main enemy.
Doing one for the Madness, I think, would be so fun, because you could have one deck that was the Crom deck for the Madness, but then you could have, a deck with Lori's World, with Path of Pale Rider stuff, with Big James, all this stuff. You got stuff from My World, you got stuff for Dashes, stuff from Slaughterville. You got all these different creators and like all these different decks you could buy, and it's all stuff that we could then offer on our different Kickstarters as well. So it would be
that was the plan.
Yeah,
that was the plan. I have a why is my brain freezing? My spreadsheet, my Excel spreadsheet. And that would ensure that, because again, if you played games, you know that with a lot of deck building style games, there's power creep, where all of a sudden somebody's more powerful than another. Well, if you use my spreadsheet, the formula, that can't happen, because you're only you're limited to a certain numerical value that your characters can be. And again, these are just some of the cards and the characters that were in it.
I say that we should do it. I say that we should work on it. And in the Madness deck, along with Crom, you could have a cartoon versions of each of us real in the Madness as part of the deck. So you could like get the NeM card and the Chris card and the Dash card, And so I think it would be a blast, and it'd be something that you could build on. You could get expansions and put them in the Kickstarters. And it's something that's shared between all of us. You could have the Silver Line deck. You could have the Flip City deck. It's like, it would be a lot of fun.
That's why I designed it, and that's what I made it for, was for people to do that kind of a thing. And it just never had the follow through. Let's put it that way. But if people are willing, it won't take me long.
I would love to work on it with you. So whatever I could do, I think that needs to happen. I think it would be so cool. It ties the whole Madness together, and all of these great characters could coexist in this one game. It would just be a ton of fun.
Super promo card.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
Super Smash Bros. But with the Madness. Yeah.
I have Smash up around here somewhere.
Yeah.
That's what I love about this show. Look at all the stuff that. Yeah. The ideas are endless, ladies and gentlemen. The ideas are endless.
And you can have
if you'd like more on the Indie Comics Battleground game, I know that we played it on the Madness a couple of times. So it's under the gaming stuff. It's in there somewhere.
See, what there's I've got a bunch of stuff going on, but I need to get with you because I got lots of things I want. Like, I think that, I don't know if it would sell. I don't know if people would be interested in it, but I would like to do a Chutes and Ladders game with space monkeys. That's one. But one of the things I really do want to do, I want to create a tactical minis game. Like Hero Clicks or something, with my hardcore science fiction game. But I don't know the first thing about getting those kinds of things created. So
that's the guy. We had a whole show on and we didn't even scratch the surface on game building and talk. We just did one, but I mean, we're going to be doing more of that soon. But like, he's right there. I saw a giant spreadsheets and folders, and I was just like, yes, I'm in love already. It was fantastic.
Real quick before we go.
Yeah, it is about that.
Yeah, it is that time.
Projects. Paid work. So somebody paid me to create a card game for them. And some of the artwork is the main artwork is theirs, the backgrounds and the card design and everything is mine. But like, I would love to do a tradable card game, with this kind of stuff. So this is some of the work that I'm doing for them. So
that's pretty.
yeah, and then I know actually printing the cards is that hard. So like, it's a passion project for him. So like, he did the main characters each time, and all the stuff is his as far as the descriptions, everything. I just designed the cards and stuff for him. But this is a lot of fun, and this would be fun to do too. But this is like a Magic the Gathering type game. So
Nice.
Which those things could get out of hand real quick. So
Yeah.
talk about power creep. That really, you need to know how to balance games out, because those things could get crazy.
Yeah, that's
players. Oh
no, go ahead.
Players will find any loophole, and exploit it, and then it quickly gets out of control. So
that is one thing when we did the game show, I was like, how do you combat that? How do you, even the field out? Because that is my biggest fear. If I build a game, I don't want to make it easy for someone to become too powerful. So yeah, I love that show. Go back and check it out if you can.
I did watch it, and
okay.
Because that fascinates me, and it's like,
yeah.
I really don't think there's any way to stop it. It's like, you just have to fix it when the problems come, because players will think, it's like Chris knows this, players will think of things that you never thought of, could possibly think of. So, combinations of cards or whatever. So
yeah,
I just had someone call me, was it yesterday or the day before? And they were playing Escargot, which, if you don't know that's my snail racing game where you're package delivery snails. So Escargot.
I told you I want to play that one.
And there's a token in there called the oil slick, and the oil slick, affects the square it's on plus the ones around it. And then there was a boulder where it blocks off the 2 lanes. Well, somebody put the oil slick and then right under the one that blocks the 2 lanes, and they're like, we couldn't finish the race, right? And I'm like, well, you had a trampoline, and the trampoline lets you jump over it.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, but they were arguing with me that it doesn't work that way. Just tell them I said it does, because that's what it is.
Yeah.
But, it is definitely difficult, especially with card games, to think of every little minute possible combination. It's why, again, like you said, it's why Magic has banned cards.
Yeah. Or you do what I do when I DM D&D and go like, well, the hell with it. I'm making my own house rule. We're going to do this. So,
yeah.
They're like, how in the world did that character do that? It's like, because I said so. So
yeah. I put that in some of my games where it's like, if anything on the cards breaks the rules, or you want to change something to adjust the rules, I'm not your dad. I'm not coming to your house to stop you with your game. Do what you want.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that people learn when I DM. Is like, a lot of times, it's like, to me, the story is the most important thing. And if the rules are getting in the way of the story, then the rules are going to lose.
That's why everybody's mad at me right now in NeM's game, because I'm the paladin, and of course the paladin is going to go. They were all ready to bolt, and I was like, nope. I am.
Speaking as the cleric who killed his own party, there's nothing you can do that's going to top that one. So,
but I was like,
that was like, a good one though.
Yeah, they're like, you're going to do it, aren't you? And I'm like, yep, I'm going to do it. Just because I wanted to, but I've never played a paladin, so it's fun to very much step out of the box of your comfort zone on that one. So I'm learning as I go. But that's what I love about your games. I mean, like I said, I don't in Path. I don't know if Chad would have done what he did.
Yeah.
In the campgrounds. So, and like I said, I talked for 40. I talked about that 45 minutes of us to one of my friends the other day. Of us still, you stealing the Jeep or the van, and we're all sitting there taste testing, or Lori's taste testing.
Yeah.
The 47 different mayos. It's just so, and they're amazed. They're like I would have never thought to do that.
If there's any kids out there who are watching this, who are thinking about getting into role play, or they role play or whatever, don't be afraid to to just enjoy the game and role play your character, even if that means that your character might die. Like Taco very much could have died when he was doing what he was. But if I hadn't done what I did, would we have had as much fun as we did? So it's like, it was stupid, but it was the most Taco thing to do. So
what did Pop say? Yeah, I totally get that.
Yeah, and what was neat is you guys used the mayo tasting from before to then use it as a projectile weapon later. Like,
never in a million years would I have ever thought to come up with a mercy gun.
No,
and that came out at that I did not have that planned. Mercy,
no, never.
Lori accidentally put her character on top of mine. I was like, fine, I'm going to pick up a character and use her as a squirt gun. So.
I don't have stats for a tactical Heimlich maneuver.
I cry, dude. I cry every game. Every game I cry, and then I get off and I cry more because I'm laughing so hard, and it's a good cry, ladies and gentlemen. It's a good cry. It's the best part.
And even if Taco had died, then there would have been fun things to do. It's like Taco.
When I thought for sure you, me, no, it was just you and me that were the. I think Pops might have got close, but you and I were definitely on and I was like, oh no. That was so fun. That was good. The slasher was so fun.
But don't be afraid to play your characters the way they are. For all you guys that role play, absolutely. It's like, even if that means your character dies, if they go out with a good death, then
you played it right. If they go out with a good death, you played it right.
Yeah.
I was waiting for Chad because that's what Chad would do. He would complain to Lori or Mercy the entire time that he is dying. That is what Chad would do. And Taco, being Taco, trying to get an arm to come home with him is a Taco thing to do, and I loved it. Man, it was so fun.
I had 3 cogs jump off the wheel there when I heard, I'm going to dance with the slasher.
No, I could. What did I picture? Like, I was picturing like a dead Wednesday is all I could kept picturing in my mind. You're dancing with a dead Wednesday Adams, and you're just doing this. You're doing the.
You know what I heard in my head? Do you know the song "Ballimos" by Enrique Iglesias?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was hearing. Oh God!
Now that should be
tomorrow. I will play that for all of you.
That's our theme song for the next.
Yeah.
That and the Mask song. Oh man!
God, Cuba Pete.
Cuba Pete. That is why I love the gaming, and like we said, the improv. The Lori came up with the no context spoilers. That thing that was perfect.
I have never done improv like formally, but one of the things I've always wanted to try, and I've pitched it to my wife. Like, one of our favorite shows is we love Whose Line Is It Anyway? And I would love to do that as a party game, but my wife is like, there's no way I'm ever doing that. But I think it would be fun to like do with some of the people here on the mat is to do like scenes from a hat,
like in between a break of a game, in between the break of the Slaughterville or Path game, do a scenes from the hat. That would be fantastic.
Yeah. So
I don't know how. Yeah.
If you get a chance, look for the card game Gloom.
Okay.
You will totally and completely love that thing. It's a storytelling card game where your job is to make your group of people, your family, so miserable that they die. and you're doing it by playing cards, and you're making up a story as you go, as you're playing them. But yeah, you want to make them extremely miserable.
I will say though, certain scenes from a hat would have to be unpilled, like things you can say about your car that you can't say about your partner. And I can see this group that we play with taking that and just rolling with it.
Yes. All right. Well, we hit our time. We'll be back next week. Chris and I will be. I don't know if we have any special guests, so I have open invitations to anybody. Come on, let us know. Love talking NeM. Great to have you on today, as always.
Thank you.
you have an open invitation as well. Let us know when you want to jump in. But we'll definitely have you back in February for the Kickstarter. I'll get you because we're gonna go back to where it's gonna be every. The girls are coming back at the end of January, so it'll be every other Wednesday, or excuse me, every other Sunday where it's Chris and I. And then I know Lori's on the 1st, and we have Chris Perkins coming. I think that's his name, Chris Perkins. Chris Perkins and Lori are coming on the 1st of February, I believe it is. Is that the right one? Yep.
I don't know what you said that just did this in my head, but I think one issue of Space Monkeys, I'm gonna have to throw in a reference to Pigs in Space from Muppets.
You do. So on the 1st of February, we'll have Lori, and she'll be with us as well as Chris Perkins, so we can get you on the 15th.
Cool.
If you want to come back for that one. I know we have we have DM Ray on that one as well on the 15th.
Nice.
Because he'll be talking about Madcaps and his thing. So got lots of comic stuff up. But Chris and I'll be back next week talking craziness as always. Got any final words, Chris, for us? Some words of wisdom.
Make sure you put something on paper, even if you're going to get rid of it later. Put it down because it gets your brain working.
Yeah, the notes app on your phone works.
Oh yeah, I keep pen and paper.
Yes,
notepads.
Notepad. I have notepads by the bed. I have notepads by my desk. I have notepads in the living room. Yeah, I love that. Good job, Chris.
My final word for everybody is turpitude. So.
Yes, turpitude. Gentlemen, it was great. I love it. Chris, I'll be back next week. Thanks, NeM, coming out. We'll see you guys Thursday, I guess.
Yeah.
And well, unless we're playing this Wednesday, NeM, are we back?
We are.
All right. So I'll see you, NeM, on Wednesday, Thursday, Chris, and then Saturday again, Chris, because I can't wait for episode 2. And then Sunday. So we'll be back. Enjoy your time. And if you ever want to come on, just hit us up. Hit Chris up, hit me up. If you want to come on, be a guest, we'd love to have you talking craziness. Then
come take a crazy trip inside my mind on NeM and the AM on Mondays and Fridays.
I will be. I couldn't be there this week, but Monday I will be there. So I will hear you. I will see you, but you won't see me. But I'll hear you.
Nice.
Till then, y'all have a great time and create. Just create. Later.
If you missed the live viewing of any Madness Entertainment Group production, you can find all our content on Roku or as a member of this channel. We'll see you next time on the Madness Entertainment Group.